A LEGO Marvel Rivals CMF series has been rumored for 2027, and the LEGO internal document leak has all but confirmed this information. So today we're going to be taking a look at what characters are likely to be included, as well as who I'd like to see. And starting off, there are some characters who we're pretty much guaranteed to see just because of their popularity, the first of those being Spider-Man, and I am not mad about this at all because it's a great design. The big black web looks really cool. Here's a custom that somebody made of it and it looks incredible, so cannot wait for this one. But up next, I think the big three of the MCU, Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, will all receive minifigures in this series. And I'm not as excited for these ones because their designs aren't especially different from minifigures we've already gotten, but they will still be the most detailed versions of these characters, and I'm sure they'll look great. But moving on, I think Marvel's most popular female character, Black Widow, is another lock for this series, and it's most likely we'll get this black and red design, but there is a possibility we'll see her classic White Widow outfit, which would be incredible since we've only ever seen it in a Comic-Con exclusive set, so making it accessible for everyone would be great. And I think it's also very likely that we'll see some representation of the Fantastic Four, and I think Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic himself, is the most likely option. And what's great about this one is it should be super easy to swap out the head and hair pieces, and then you get 4 minifigures for the price of 1. If they do want to add a second Fantastic Four minifigure in the series, hopefully it would be Flame On Johnny Storm, but I think it's more likely they'll stick to just 1 here. But moving on, we're going to need some X-Men representation, so I think their most popular character, Wolverine, is quite likely for this series, and even though we did just see him in the Marvel CMF Series 2, this is a quite distinct design from that version, so I think we can still see him here. And I think it also makes sense to include the Jean Grey Phoenix in this series. We did just see a Jean Grey in the X-Mansion, but the only Phoenix minifigure we've ever gotten is a $1,000 plus Comic-Con figure. And there's several different designs they could choose from for this character, and they all look great, so I would love to see this. So now we are on to the villain side of things, and with Doomsday coming out late this year, and then Secret Wars coming out in 2027, I think Doctor Doom is an absolute lock for this series, and he has a very cool Marvel Rivals design, so I have no complaints there. So those are the 9 characters I think are most likely to appear in this series, but I'll fill in the last 3 with some I would personally like to see. And first off, I've got Ultron. His Marvel Rivals design is incredible, and an Ultron minifigure with CMF level detailing has so much potential. But for the 11th minifigure, I would love to see Loki, the God of Stories, because not only is this a great design within the game, it's also something LEGO fans have been asking for ever since the end of Loki Season 2. And for the final minifigure, I think LEGO definitely needs to give us a character that we have never seen as a minifigure before, and unfortunately some of the characters I would have picked first have designs that aren't particularly family friendly, so LEGO would never make them. But I do think Squirrel Girl is an option here, and it's something LEGO Marvel fans have been requesting for quite some time, so this would be a great way to round out the series. But that gets us to 12, so let me know what Marvel Rival characters you would most like to see. Subscribe for future content, and have a great day.